Do you ever despair about how fast your time is passing? Would you like to accomplish more things to be happier? Well, in the next few minutes, you will see how to do it. Don't worry, because it has a solution with the 3-step method that you will discover. But first, it is important for you to know what the philosopher Seneca said many years ago. When you get to the end, you will realize that you were too busy doing nothing. Seneca understood that your time is the most valuable thing you have. So let me ask you, do you think some days about lost time and how much it is worth? Even though you know that someday you will have to face the reality that life is not forever, now you act as if you are immortal. Doesn't it happen to you often? It's normal. Everyone does it. It's better not to think that someday it will all be over. It's better to try to ignore your deepest challenges. But do you want to seize every moment and achieve a fulfilling life? Do you want to achieve something important? Then it's important that you watch this video. And if you don't want to miss out on any valuable tips to transform your life, hit the subscribe button. The first thing is to ask yourself this: would you like to stop wasting time and get results today? Would you like to stop procrastinating? Well, I'm going to give you the 3 steps to get it. For that, first, you have to know this. Procrastinating is like throwing your time away. Seneca said, "Procrastinating robs you of the moment and leaves you without the present, though it promises the future." And Seneca also said that as you hesitate and procrastinate, your life goes faster. We have all fallen into the trap of procrastinating, but when this becomes a habit and you postpone important plans, there you have a problem. Because life doesn't wait. You'd better act now. Most of your fears have to do with not knowing what's going to happen. That's why Seneca tells you that luck is unpredictable, and waiting doesn't make you more successful. On the contrary, it often brings more trouble your way. The solution is to stop saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," and start right now. You just need to take the first step and break the inertia, as Seneca said. Act now. Hold on to what you are doing today and don't depend so much on what you will do tomorrow. Let me give you an example. If you see someone burning money, you would think he is crazy. However, every day we waste minutes and hours without feeling that we are doing anything wrong, even though time is the most valuable thing we have. Unlike money, which we can spend and then earn back, time is something we will never get back. That is why Seneca said that people take great care of their material things, but when it comes to wasting time, they are the ones who waste it the most. Changing the way you value time is fundamental. Understanding that time is limited is the first step to using it wisely and dedicating it to things that are really worthwhile in your life. So I'm going to give you a tactic to gain a lot more time in your life. Ask yourself this: how much time out of your life do you need to achieve something great? In other words, is it worth the time you will use for secondary tasks? This means that you should not only focus on the money, but find out if what you will get really justifies the time you invest. This will help you make more conscious decisions and do things that are really worthwhile for you, so stop following the mindless frenzy. When you're worried, it's hard to do anything right. For someone who is constantly worried, living seems to be the least important thing. Seneca said that living is a crucial and difficult thing to learn. His words are very relevant today, in a world full of distractions like social media, news, and work that fill your schedule and leave you with no free time. It is key that you change priorities and distinguish what is really important from what is superficial. Doing this is essential because it allows you to have time for things that really matter and learn to live in the moment without getting carried away by distractions and worries that tend to fill your day-to-day. This way of living makes you feel very busy doing things that seem important, but if you look at the end of the day, you realize that you did few things that made you happy or brought you closer to your important goals. This frantic pace can entangle you for years, causing life to slip away from you. Therefore, it is important to rethink how you live each day, trying to remove distractions and worthless occupations. At the same time, Make room in your schedule for activities that actually make you feel good and vital. Instead of living like a robot, this approach invites you to lead a more conscious and thoughtful life. By connecting with what really does you good and brings you closer to your important goals, you can escape the trap of always being busy and start creating a life that really goes hand in hand with what you really want. So, if you want to make the most of your time, it's essential that you learn to say no. Seneca said, "How much you have ruined your life because you didn't know what you were losing. How much you have wasted your time in meaningless suffering, empty laughter, greedy desires, and social distractions. You will realize that you were dying too soon." To use your time well, it is key that you learn to set boundaries. Some of these boundaries are directed at others, those people who believe they have the right to take your time by imposing responsibilities on you that are not yours. This means saying no to many things you do for others that they could do for themselves. It also means refusing meaningless commitments and responsibilities. But you also need to learn to say no to yourself. Setting boundaries so you don't waste valuable time means rejecting emotional states that harm you and take away moments of happiness. If you don't pay attention, both social expectations and those emotional states can end up consuming much of your life. Don't put all your happiness into achieving your goals alone. Life is short and can feel unfulfilling for those who achieve things with a lot of effort, but then have to work even harder to maintain them. Some work hard to get what they eagerly desire and then possess it. In the meantime, time runs its steady course, according to Seneca. In a society that celebrates always going for bigger goals, this message from Seneca may seem strange, but the constant pursuit of new goals without feeling satisfied with what has been achieved only leads to anxiety and discontent. Seneca suggests not to be too ambitious in order to make good use of time. As we pursue new goals, time flies by. One goal leads to the next, making us mistakenly believe that happiness lies only in achieving them. The key is to adjust our expectations and think about how to lead a more meaningful life here and now while working towards certain goals. Anyway, Seneca also said, "Don't think that someone has lived many years just because he has gray hair and wrinkles. He has not lived long, he has only existed long." The part of life that we really live is small, because the rest is not life, it is just time. The key to making good use of time lies in turning empty minutes into important moments. To achieve this, it is crucial to understand that happiness is not only in achieving external goals, but in how we live each moment. Sometimes we become obsessed with achieving material things, social recognition or professional success, thinking that this will make us happy. But true happiness is in how we live each day, in our connections with others, in taking care of our mental and physical health, and in finding meaning in the little things. Seneca encourages you not to procrastinate happiness by thinking about an uncertain future. Instead of sacrificing the present for a future that is not guaranteed, you can learn to find joy and fulfillment here and now. This means enjoying the simple moments, appreciating the beauty that surrounds us, taking care of our relationships and our health. At the end of the day, time is limited, and you can't take back what is past, but you can control how you use it in the present and the future. What do you think of what you've seen so far? If you don't want to miss any key to success in your personal and professional life, hit the subscribe button. By following Seneca's lessons, you can learn to own your time, set priorities that reflect your values, and live fully, knowing that every moment counts. Seneca's philosophy also challenges you to change your perspective on time and happiness, encouraging you to let go of the rushed, superficial routine that often consumes you. Instead, seek depth and meaning in your actions and relationships. To achieve this, it is crucial to practice self-discipline and self-awareness. Learn to distinguish the essential from the superfluous, what truly adds value from what distracts you from your authentic goals. Make conscious decisions about how you use your time, setting healthy boundaries and owning your choices. Seneca's lesson goes beyond simply asking for moderation. It is a call to live consciously and thoughtfully. It urges you to question your motivations, reconsider your goals, and align your actions with your deepest values. Instead of being trapped in constant urgency, learn to free yourself and find freedom in your conscious choices. Seneca's wisdom reminds you that life is a fleeting gift, and each day is an opportunity to live with purpose and fulfillment. Instead of being swept along by the currents of time, take the helm and sail toward your own goals and dreams. Making good use of your time is not just about filling your schedule, but filling your life with meaningful experiences, deep relationships, and moments that make you feel truly alive. Below, I'll give you a practical 3-step guide to not wasting your time. Write these steps down in a notebook or on your cell phone. If you practice them, you will gain a lot of time every day. You will avoid wasting time on meaningless activities and focus on what really matters, and you will live a fuller and happier life. Step 1. Evaluate and prioritize. Before improving your time management, it is key to understand how you currently use your time. Reflect on your daily activities and habits. Ask yourself where you spend the most time and what gives you satisfaction and brings you closer to your goals. Write down these observations to get a clear understanding of your current use of time. After identifying your usual activities, rank them according to their importance to your goals. Make a list and label each task as important, moderately important, or unimportant. Evaluate how each activity contributes to your long-term goals and overall well-being. Prioritize those that give you personal achievement, professional growth, emotional well-being, or meaningful relationships. Focus on them to optimize your time. By completing Step 1, you will have an honest assessment of your time use and a solid foundation for making conscious decisions about how to spend your time more effectively and meaningfully. Step 2. Set limits and focus on what really matters. Sometimes, you will be overwhelmed by commitments that distract you from what's really important. Practice saying no in a respectful way when faced with activities that don't match your priorities or exhaust you. Identify areas to reduce unnecessary tasks, either by delegating, automating, or rejecting worthless commitments. Setting boundaries not only saves your time, but also gives you the energy to focus on what really matters. Once you have clear boundaries, focus on important and meaningful activities. Avoid spreading yourself thin or multitasking, as this divides your attention and reduces your effectiveness. Instead, use blocks of time for specific tasks and focus as much as possible. Turn off notifications on your electronic devices and minimize distractions to improve the quality of your work and be more productive. You will experience accomplishment and satisfaction in completing each task successfully. By the end of Step 2, you will have learned to set effective boundaries. You will have protected your time and trained yourself to consciously focus on your priority activities. These skills will prevent you from wasting time on unimportant things and increase the impact of your daily efforts. Step 3. Practice mindfulness and self-assessment regularly. Practicing mindfulness is key to not wasting time on meaningless things. When you do something, focus only on it, forgetting distractions and worries. Feel the present moment and do each task with attention. This attention also applies to your actions and decisions. Before committing yourself, ask if it aligns with your priorities and goals. Avoid unnecessary projects that take you away from what is really important. Regularly evaluate how you use your time. Track your progress toward your goals and review your priorities. Make sure you spend enough time on what really matters. Adjust priorities as needed. If some activities do not yield results or satisfaction, Think about whether it is worth continuing to devote time to them. Be flexible and adapt your goals and circumstances. Time is valuable and cannot be recovered. Following Seneca and being conscious, we transform how we live. With self-assessment, boundaries, focus, mindfulness, and constant evaluation, every moment counts. Don't let the speed of life sweep you away meaninglessly. Choose to own your time and use it wisely. This way, every day becomes an opportunity for meaningful relationships, passions, and authentic goals. So I suggest you incorporate these practices into your daily life. Learn to say no to the trivial, focus on the essential, and live each moment with full awareness. Remember that the time you dedicate to valuable and meaningful actions is what really shapes your life. Thank you for joining this journey towards a more conscious and purposeful life. Together we can make the most of every moment and build a life in tune with your deepest aspirations. Let's not waste any more time on what doesn't enrich you. Let's make every second count towards a fuller and more meaningful life. And if you want to achieve all this much faster by changing your habits so that nothing and no one affects you, you will find out in this video you see on the screen. It will change your relationships with others, and you will achieve your goals much faster. You are sure to benefit today. And if you don't want to miss valuable tips to transform your life, hit the subscribe button. What did you think? Your opinion is important, so write me in the comments which of the 3 steps you find most useful.